Alright, okay. This is gonna be a kind of weird video, but it's just something I kind of wanted to put out just because. This is also my first video that I'm making while at college, so there's that too. Uh, this video isn't gonna be anything particularly special. I'm just gonna sit on my computer, rank some custom PvZ2 worlds, and ramble for a little bit. So, uh, I suppose let's just get into it. So, these are we're gonna go about this in order of when these mods were publicized, and when their updates specifically came out. Uh, so first we have the Heen Age from the Heen Age and International mod that I played on my YouTube channel just about a year ago now, which is kind of crazy. Uh, and if you've watched that video, you would know I do not like that mod. But that's also mostly because the mod was made back in 2021, and modding wasn't really that big at the time. And also, this world is trying to be an exact port of Heen Age from the Chinese version, so it wasn't really all that creative. But I suppose I'm just judging it by bad standards. Oh, I should also clarify. This video is specifically on custom worlds from mods that I've played, so there will be no Chinese garden here or anything like that. Alright? The next one in line is Holiday Mashup from a mod that needs no introduction. And if I had to give my honest thoughts on this world, I'd say it's probably a B tier, if I'm gonna be honest, because, so here's the thing, when it comes to my opinions, I am more focused on what I think makes me feel like I'm having fun, compared to if something is actually fundamentally good or not, right? And so when I played Holiday Mashup when Reflourished came out, launch day by the way, I felt like I was having a lot of fun, right? And although the world may not be up to the standards of the other Reflourished worlds, I still feel like this world is a very, or was a very fun one, because I had fun while playing it. But I'm saying this is more of a low B tier, because the fact that Holiday Mashup drags on as much as it does is undeniable. It is a 48 level long world that introduces a total of like 3 custom specials, technically 6 specials, but 3 of them are Z-Corps. So, I mean, yeah. And then nowadays, when you're replaying the new Reflourished content with all the timed events and whatever, you get a bunch of holiday specials, and it's like, well, this is cool, but where was this before? I mean, I'm just honestly pretty sure that Holiday Mashup could have used a remake, or can use a remake somewhat down the line. I mean, it's a huge team, they could probably make it happen. You wouldn't have to even change up the dialogues or, like, plants or anything. Just introduce more specials, man. Like, make this world, like, less boring. Like, come on. Next is Steam Ages, which I have played on this channel, and it is going in S tier, undoubtedly, because Steam Ages, for as much as I struggled with it, oh, I should clarify, Reflourished Steam Ages. As much as I've struggled with Steam Ages, I had so much fun playing it. It was so much fun to play with like 7 different zombie specials, which all had very unique abilities, and specifically were very custom too. And the plants in this world were also very, very fun. I'd say this is like definitely an S tier world. The gimmick was very creative, simple but very, very creative and effective. I loved it a lot. Yeah, I mean, not much else to say about this world. I mean, it's pretty good. Like, I don't think I have to tell you twice that Steam Ages is goated. Even my reactions on my YouTube channel tell you that. My only complaint with this world was I feel like the Zomboss fight didn't utilize the gimmick as much as it should have. It just had a simple attack that spawned backwards imps, and that felt a little bit boring to me. The Zomboss fight was also really hard too, and I'm not really much of a fan of the Zomboss fights being hard because they're super luck-based, right? And so they should be more easy. Like, I just feel like Zomboss fights are more about the spectacle of the end of a world rather than like an actual difficult fight, because then it just becomes too much reliant on RNG, and yeah. But again, that's just how I feel. I don't like it that way. That doesn't mean it's bad. It just doesn't mean it just means I don't like it. Sorry, I have to stutter so fucking much when I say that. Next on the list, Hypothermic Hollows, a world which I don't have very many good things to say about it. And I'm sorry, but I'm putting this in C. So, the thing with Hypothermic Hollows, right, is you have 20 levels, right? And in that time, you are awarded one singular plant. Right? And the new specials are cool and all, right? But I just don't feel like this world sets itself apart enough from Frostbite Caves to really be something new. It just feels like another expansion. And I kinda get it, it's an epic realm, it's not really a new world. But I just don't think slider tiles changing positions really shakes up the gameplay that much. Like, you add some new specials, you, like, kinda just... you forget about the plants, and the gimmick on top of that isn't even all that different, right? Like, I feel like they could have really just done something more with a mechanically different Frostbite Caves. Because, does the slider position... No, I was gonna say, does the slider position really matter? But yes, it does. It changes how you place your plants throughout the level and stuff. It very much does matter, even if dodos and weasels trivialize it a little. Because saying something does not matter is a really shitty critique. But, again, I don't know, I just feel like Hypothermic Hollows didn't live up to the hype it was supposed to have. Cool lore, yes, but I don't know, I just feel like it dropped the ball on being interesting. And what really settles it for me is, like, the lack of an interesting mechanic, an interesting new mechanic, might I add, and a severe lack of plants. Like, it couldn't have been hard to include Pokra and Pyrovine in this world, because they're on the promotional art, right? I just feel like it wouldn't have been a big deal to just throw in some vanilla plants to fill out a plant roster, right? And that's just what I think. You know, it can be different for other people, but I'm just saying my thoughts, and that's how I felt about this world. Next up on the line, Caliginous Carnival. Fantastic world. I mean, I loved the setting. I love, like, circus culture. I love that this is kind of spooky horror world. But I'm not a reflourish quarter who thinks that this is, like, actually creepy, unsettling stuff. Because it's fucking Plants vs. Zombies. Like, let me be real with that. But yeah, no, Caliginous Carnival is fantastic. I love the mechanic. I love the new plants. Potato chip and caramel popcorn are really, really fun. The new specials too, like, amazing. I think Trapeze Zombie, even though we're seeing a swashbuckler variant for the third time now, it's a very much more clever take on swashbuckler. The Vendor Bros, I get a lot of critiques that they're not as powerful as they should be, but that's kind of the point. Sometimes you kind of need a cheap, spammable, like, kind of raw zombie-esque special, you know, because that's just what you need to do. But yeah, I don't know, not really much more to say. I love Caliginous Carnival, and it also, like, rolls off the tongue really well. Caliginous Carnival. Whew, yeah, Caliginous. That's pretty Caliginous, if I say so myself. Of course, this is only part 1, so my ranking could change based on how I feel later. if they absolutely shit the bed with part 2, which I'm gonna hope they don't, then that would be pretty cool. All I'm saying. It wouldn't be cool if they shit the bed, but I hope that they do well with it. They've been developing it for about a year now, which I'm not really sure what's taking so long. It's probably all that focus on timed events and shit and side content that I don't fucking give a shit about. Sorry, that was really mean. We're Flourish devs, if you're watching this, I'm sorry, but I guess we're enemies now. Because I put one of your worlds in C tier, I'm so sorry. 10 Desires from Edgist. Funny name, I know, but 10 Desires, this is going to be a bit controversial. It's going in A tier, and I'm going to tell you why. 10 Desires is one of the most creative things I've played in Plants vs. Zombies 2 modding. Because PvZ mods tend to have this formula, right, where you go through vanilla worlds and you unlock vanilla plants, and like they don't really have much new content to them. And I can't be the only one who's getting sick of the kind of tried and true formula of replaying Ancient Egypt, Pirate Seas, Wild West, and you don't even add anything new or interesting to them. Like, I don't care how many new zombies you add to those vanilla worlds. It's always gonna be, like, the same fucking vanilla world. It's going to feel the same, right? And so that's when 10 Desires comes in. Because 10 Desires is not only a new world within PvZ2 modding, but it also does a lot of interesting things. Like, for example, let me just read off the list here. Caliginous Carnival has tiles that transform zombies and give you gambling-like effects. Heen Age has tiles that reveal backward zombies. Holiday Mashup has grid item presents that drop new plants. Hypothermic Hollows has, what is it? Slider tiles that change position. And we're gonna go with spoilers. Crimson's fronts grid items need no introduction. Roman Outskirts uses tiles. This one uses grid items too. But are you seeing a pattern here? So many custom worlds utilize grid items or tile mechanics as their main world gimmick. And I understand that modding is kinda limited, and you cannot do as many diverse things as, say, like the original PopCat devs could. And so that's why I feel 10 Desires is so much more fresh, because it has this like mechanic where spirits come in, right? And they buff zombies with like speed, HP, like whatever. But I think inherently the fact that 10 Desires does not play around a grid just makes it so much more interesting to me than any other like modding world. And not to mention the fact, but 10 Desires is a Touhou crossover. And while I do not know anything about Touhou, I still find so much enjoyment out of 10 Desires, despite not knowing anything. Because seeing Dave talk about, or talk to Touhou characters, and like, Touhou-like things within a PvZ game, like this crossover thing, it's just cool. Like, you can't deny that, even if I don't know the source material, it's just cool, right? Because it's definitely more about PvZ than it is Touhou. And even then, the specials of the world and the new plant you unlock in it are not based on Touhou. It's like Japanese kind of culture. And so I feel like there's definitely a disconnect between Touhou fans and people who don't know anything about Touhou, where they can both still really enjoy this world. And crossovers in itself are a criminally underutilized part of PvZ2 mods. Like, I really respect Edges for going for this. I could write an essay about this, or make a video essay, and you know what? I could. I probably will. It's just something that I'm really passionate about talking about. But with all that combined, maybe 10 Desires, like, game design-wise, isn't the best, because for some reason you only unlock 3 plants, and on top of that, you're restricted in plant placements. But I don't know, I just had so much fun playing this world. Like, I felt like I was having fun, and that puts it at A tier for me, honestly. So I guess moving on from the Edge's plays, Assault Airspace. What do I say about this world? Don't mind me getting a sip of water. Assault Airspace is a world which, how you say... I'll just put it here, and I'll explain my thoughts. Above Holiday Mashup, probably. I didn't really have so much fun playing Assault Airspace, because... Let me put it this way, right? Because this is how I felt about the world. Steam Ages went from this world, which was heavily flawed in the Chinese version. And while, yes, you could have ported the gimmick over, they chose not to do that, and they went with an entirely new gimmick. It felt like I was playing something brand new, right? Because the gameplay was so different from the original Chinese version that I just felt like they had so much more creativity here, and I loved it a lot. I love the creativity that Steam Ages provided. But then you go to Assault Airspace, right? And there's 2 new zombies compared to 4 new zombies that Steam Ages added. And the new idea that they bring to Sky City are clouds that act like flower pots that you could place plants on. And I don't know about you, but that just doesn't feel like as creative to me. You know? Like, I understand only porting 2 new zombies, or only getting 2 new zombies, because, you know, it's an epic realm, it's not a world. But, like, I don't know, it just doesn't feel as inspired as Steam Ages was. And don't get me started on this, like, people love to dig on Frostbite Caves for forcing you to bring heating plants in basically every single level, right? But then why has no one given proper critiques towards Assault Airspace, or Sky City in general, for forcing you to bring flying plants in every single level? And I don't know about you, but I just feel like the variety between flying plants and fire plants is a lot thinner. I feel like I'm having to bring, like, Puff Apple into every single level, and I just don't like that. And yes, you can argue that the clouds make for more room for you to plant, but if you're not bringing flying plants into levels, you're purposely just giving up space for yourself. And I don't really know how often clouds, like, make up for so much lost space. And even then, I really did not vibe with the plants in this world, I'm gonna be honest. Like, Asparagus is cool. Sure, he's whatever. He's a bit boring, but he's cool. But then you get to Puff Apple, who counters 1 thing in this world, 2 things in this world, actually, and is a flying walnut. So I already feel like I have to kind of bring him into any level if I just want that space for cloud, without using clouds. That little spinny guy who I forget the name of, he works to stun things in a 3x3 area, but then he drags them into himself, cool, right? That's cool. But then he puts them back, and I know that's exactly how it worked in the Chinese version, but I just don't like it. Like, I don't like the fact that he puts them back. It'd be more interesting if he was kind of like an instant new sweet potato. And I get that, like, Hot Date kind of does that too. But Hot Date does damage, and Nia Sparrow, or whatever, stuns. Sausage Squash isn't much better. It's kind of like an iceberg lettuce of the sky, which can occasionally absorb plants, right? Not plants, zombies. Weak zombies. So it kind of has a niche there. And then you got You got Peagle Pod, which is just fucking ass. Like, I'm sorry, it's just so bad. Maybe I'm just not using it correctly, but every time I try to use it, I feel like it's just weak. Like, it's too much for what it does, right? Like, I'd rather just use Electric Blueberry, because Electric Blueberry costs less and you can get it on the field slightly faster. And also, Peagle is a flying plant, so you'd want to plant it on the sky so it won't take up much space. But it's super heavy, and it's prone to dying on the sky, so I don't really, like, see it. Like, am I just missing something with it? And then Gatling P is fine, he's just kind of boring in my opinion, but, you know, that's just me. Again, not to say that Assault Airspace is bad, it just means I didn't like it. Like, that's just my opinion, and I want to be clear on that. That's how I felt about things. Okay? Well, all things considered, this world is probably really amazing. I know people really like it, but just for me, personally, it wasn't for me. And now, the big man itself, Crimson Front. The other war-themed world that's been the talking point of the community for well over a year now, right? And here's where I have to say, or here's where I have to put it. Hot take, right? So, let me talk about Crimson Front. Crimson Front has amazing music. It has some cool specials. It has really fun plants to use. Sky Shooter and Parawind are my goats, right? And the specials of the world too. Z-Tank is super threatening and fun to fight against. The Minesweeper is annoying in a very fun way. Nurse Zombie is about as great as Tomb Raiser is, but I kind of like Tomb Raiser as a threat, annoying as he can be. Oh, and Foot Soldier too. Right. I could have sworn there was... Foot Soldier is great. I love, like, kind of gimmicks that kind of obscure your vision that aren't Fog. Like, Fog is pretty shitty, but, like, I kind of like the way Foot Soldier does his smoke thing. I could have sworn there was a 5th special, but I'm gonna guess there's not. I'm probably forgetting if there was. So, with all that considered, why isn't Crimson Front higher up? And the reason is, I just don't like the way Altverse plays. Because I'm not a fan of Altverse. I never finished Jurassic Marsh, and I'm probably not gonna update it when Modern Day comes out. And the thing about me not liking Altverse is solely due to its gameplay. I'm not a fan of the 25 Sun meta, and it just plays so much, like, too slow for me. Too slow. But that's for me. That's my opinion. I gotta state this a lot during this video, that this is just how I feel about these worlds. I'm not saying my Crimson Front or Altverse are bad, I'm just saying they're not for me. I am not their target audience. But that being said, I did love Crimson Front. I did not finish it just because Altverse's gameplay dragged too much on it, and I just didn't enjoy the world for as much as I could have because of Altverse's gameplay. And I guess one kind of criticism is that it's like kind of grid item heavy, but I don't know, I kind of like it that way. I like how many grid items are present in Crimson Front. Oh, and another thing, Crimson Front is a custom world that does not follow the alliteration, like, naming scheme. Which, if you know me, you know that's kind of something that gets on my nerves when every single fucking custom world is named with alliteration. It stops rolling off the tongue quite as well. But as I was saying, yeah, I kind of like Crimson Front being grid item focused, because it offers, like, more, like, piercing plant variety, you know? And, like, trying to handle fighting back on a war of space, you know? Because the zombies are constantly taking up your space over and over again. And the weather mechanic is super cool too. I'm a big fan of worlds that don't use... where their main gimmick isn't focused on kind of grid items and stuff. And, well, yeah, 2 of the 4 weather conditions are focused on grid items, so I mean that is kind of disappointing. I still think it's kind of fun to play around. It's something kind of like jams, you know? But overall, yeah, Crimson Front is great. It'd probably be an A tier for me, or an S tier even, but unfortunately, just like alt versus gameplay system just drags it down for me. Next on my list, Roman Outskirts. Ooh, my baby. My precious, precious baby. Is Roman Outskirts deserving of S tier? No, it fucking isn't. Does it compare to the quality of Crimson Front or Assault Airspace? No, it fucking doesn't. But is it my baby? You better fucking believe it. I'm just very proud of Roman Outskirts, I won't lie. Because I think I can't really speak on its specials or anything, or its design. I mean, I will. I think this world is fantastically designed, not to glaze myself. I think Healer is a very... Like, you think Healer's not very threatening, but he is. He has his moments. Ironclad Zombie is an amazing threat for this world. Ballista, I love its rework, and its synergies with Medusa, which will come in Part 2. I hope I don't shit the bed with Part 2, by the way. It better fucking live up to the hype and quality of Part 1. And the gimmick, oh my god. I love Roman Outskirts' gimmick. It focuses on stall and like zombie speed, and it's kind of based on Far Future, where you have to like where the level design is built around you having these huge, like, overpowered defensives, you know? Like, I just love Roman Outskirts. I'm very proud of the way it turned out, and I'm very happy with it. And I feel like even when I get to my next world, I'll still probably have Roman Outskirts as my favorite, but I don't know. Obviously, this is biased as shit, but I just love RO. I love it. Even when replaying it, I still feel so good and giddy playing it. Like, that's just how I feel. Maybe it's not deserving to be an S tier, but this is how I feel about Roman Outskirts. And I'm not gonna give it a lower placement by taking off my bias glasses, because it's my baby and it deserves to be an S tier. Now, how long have we been at it? 27 minutes? Yeah, that's kind of expected. One last ranking to determine this. Renaissance Realm from PvZ2 Collided. Collided was a mod that didn't really click with me at first, because I hated Modern Day. I hated its tutorial. It sucked. It was really bad. Really, really bad. But Renaissance Realm really captured it. Like, it clicked for me, because Collided does something very interesting, where it does not take you through the vanilla worlds. I mean, it still takes you through some vanilla worlds, but it has so much more custom content in between. There's so many custom plants, so many custom zombies, and their next world is completely 100% original. And I'm so fucking stoked for that. But Renaissance Realm, the first proper world of the game, has so much to offer. While the gimmick is much more true to 2C, albeit without the ventriloquist wheels or whatever, I thought it was still very fun to play. And it left a fantastic impression on me for this mod. And although I don't really have much to say about it, besides the fact it had really fucking good music, I'll probably have to give it a nice A tier. I enjoyed Renaissance Age, I had fun playing it, and although there wasn't really much to discuss of it because it's the first world, this is how I felt about it. I felt like this was an A tier world. I do have one complaint though. I fucking hate those sculpture imps. I hate them. I hate them so much. They're speedy, faster troglodytes, and I hate them. Just kidding though. The rest of the zombies in that world were very fun to play against. It felt like it felt like just a proper Renaissance Age experience, which I've always kind of wanted. I love it when mods like finally give Chinese worlds the chance they really need to like thrive, like in a Western mod style environment. And I really hope someone does that with Heen Age someday. It's the one Chinese world that's missed out on everything, and I just really feel like Heen Age needs its time in the spotlight. But overall, yeah, like, fantastic mod. Please go play Collided. I'm very excited for the next world. I hope Swinging Boulevard cooks. And, yeah. If you want to argue with me and say I'm an idiot in the comments, go for it. Otherwise, IDC, because this is my opinions and how I felt about things. Yeah, I don't really have much to say. Alright, goodbye.